What's up? Welcome to your Buckeye Rush Hour for a Monday. Kicking it off, starting it off, right? Get your Monday rolling here. It's beat Penn State week. There really hasn't been a bigger week, has there? Maybe beat Notre Dame week. That's a good one. But no, folks, please pop in the chat. I want to get your feedback. I've got some burning questions here that need to be asked and answered. So let's get into it. By the way, I wanted to mention, I hope you joined us last night. Me, Jeff, and Sean talked about some national games, gave you our opinions on the Purdue game, and got you ready for this Penn State game. So coming out of that Purdue game, we've got quite a few burning questions that need to be answered and probably aren't going to be answered until late in the week. We got Ryan Day's press conference coming on Tuesday afternoon. So make sure you're subscribed here. I'll have that for you. And even in podcast form, of course. So podcast, YouTube, whatever you want. And all right, so let's get into it. I've got a few burning questions here, and mostly injury related, because we've got some guys that are missing some time and have missed time. The running game is affected here. The defense is heavily affected. So, as you guys know, coming in this week, we got Penn State coming to town for a nooner. Big Fox Big Noon kickoff is going to be there, plus ESPN's College Game Day. Even though they're not doing the game, they're going to be there. Obviously, this is a huge game. So, my first burning question, and I want to get your guys' feedback. And we're taking calls today, so check out the phone number. It is scrolling above my head, whichever direction, and then it's also below me in the show description. So call in, and I want to get your feedback. If you want to talk about the Purdue game this past weekend, we can do that. And we're kind of overlapping into the Penn State game today, so you can do whatever you want. Go nuts. All right. Denzel Burke. He's my first question. Will Denzel Burke be healthy this weekend for the Buckeyes? It wasn't immediately clear exactly what happened to Burke on Saturday at Purdue. It appeared he got his legs rolled up on a tackle in the second half. He needed a trainer to help support his weight on the way to the locker room. They took him to the tent for a minute and then on to the locker room, but he needed help, a hand, an arm, a shoulder to lean on to support his weight. Obviously, he didn't return to the game. And after the game, Ryan Day didn't have any updates yet. So losing Denzel would be one of the biggest losses we could have on this team, much less the defense, if he's unable to go against Penn State. Burke has been locked down this entire first half of the season. His half of the field is just avoided by the quarterback most of the time. So he's graded out one of the best corners in the country, and even with a few targets here and there, if he does allow a short catch, he makes a tackle and doesn't allow a lot of yak yards and stuff. So that puts it on. If Burke is out, the corner position rotation would be Igbinosun, Jordan Hancock, and true freshman Jermaine Matthews, number 24. You probably saw him late in the game there in the fourth quarter at Purdue. He's also a witch on special teams. You might have seen him make some tackles inside the 20 on kickoff coverage. This guy's going to be a good one. Now, he isn't just a true freshman, though, and he's played very little thus far this year. I'll go get his snap counts here in a sec. But so Burke's absence against Penn State would really be a big, big problem, a huge problem. So let's see. Hope for the best here. And we do have some talent, to put in there. It's just inexperienced talent, right? So that's the main key. Let me see if I have Jermaine Matthews snap counts for the season. Scrolling. Here we go. Oh, that's special teams. Too far. I went too far. All right. Corner. Matthews had 10 snaps against Youngstown State, 11 snaps against Western Kentucky, and then did not play against Notre Dame. And then just special teams, first game of the year against Indiana, and special teams against Maryland. So before this past week, he only had 21 snaps. So, yeah, definitely burning that red shirt, if nothing else. So let's hope for the best with Denzel, but we do have guys, to get in there. So next up, let's stay with the defense. My other burning question is Cody Simon a new starter at weak side linebacker? The Silver Bullets are one of the best statistical defenses in the country right now. Top 3, top 5, depending on what category you want to look at. The Buckeyes gave Cody Simon a higher volume workload than Steel Chambers last week. So could this be a permanent change to the starting lineup is the question going into Penn State, a run heavy team. Steele's had a couple of inconsistent weeks at linebacker. So making the change going into a matchup like Penn State would carry some risk, but starting Simon might be the best move. According to PFF grades, Simon is outgrading Chambers. He outgraded Chambers at Purdue 69.8 to 58.8. Of course, 60 is your average, just a guy grade. So Simon also racked up a team high 8 tackles. He tied with Eichenberg to lead the team, 5 solo and a TFL. Simon also had more snaps than Chambers. He had 13 more snaps on Saturday. So Penn State is obviously their offense is focused on running the ball. They want to control the clock against the Buckeyes like everybody does. So the Silver Bullets have to be on point. And right now, Cody Simon is playing better than Steel Chambers. So it's on Jim Knowles, James Laurinaitis, those guys to handle this linebacking depth chart. And I don't know what happened with Steel. Maybe he's just not seeing it. I know he's being targeted. I think he's being schemed up on defense, especially in the pass game. You see him chasing and guys running away from him after they make a catch. So he does make a play here or there, but the consistency is not there. And do you really want to risk giving up a big play because Steele's in the game, So again, I like Steel Chambers, so this is not a shit on Steel Chambers show, but I'm concerned for the entire defense. It's not right to play a guy just because he's a senior or whatever, So we'll see what they do. Does Cody Simon get to start this week? Huge question. All right, let's flip it over to the defense. Will the Buckeyes roll out the new Devin Brown red zone package? What can Brown do for you? Penn State has to prepare for this new Devin Brown red zone package. So you're making them practice in a limited practice window. You're making them use part of that to practice a defense for this package. So Devin was able to convert his first chance at Purdue on Saturday for a touchdown. So that has to get Penn State's attention right out of the gates, right? Then the goal line fumble and he was really cautious on his third try. That showed some inconsistencies, but at least the Buckeyes showed a real threat of a QB run against Purdue. So that's, again, something that Penn State has to prepare for this week. I could easily see Ryan Day breaking that out if we get inside the 5, even the 10 maybe. But in those high leverage snaps, ball security is a must. So the fumble is also going to be on Ryan Day's mind. Kyle McCord also showed he could use his legs this past Saturday. He had a zone read that he kept and went for 9 yards. So that threat is there. How real it is, I'm not sure, but he also had a nice spin out of the pocket on a corner blitz the second time they came at him. He rolled out and extended the play this past Saturday. So he could be not a, I don't know about an addition to the rushing attack, but, you know, an off-speed pitch when you're thinking about the rushing attack. You know, again, 9 times out of 10 on a zone read, he's probably going to give it. But that you gotta make those linebackers think, you know, that you might keep it. If you give them that shred of doubt in their minds, get those wheels churning. It's not good for linebackers. They like to read and react, you know, muscle memory. They don't like to be thinking. It's not their strong suit. So can Kyle add a little bit, just enough, you know, like a little 9-yard scamper? Doesn't quite get you a first down, or maybe it does, you know, depending on where you're at on the field. But the QB can be a threat on the ground, even if it's just for a couple snaps. So I hope to see that. Honestly, I would like to see that. So it's in our back pocket, and it's in the back of Penn State's defensive coaches' minds. One of the biggest questions here: what will Dallin Hayden's role be for Ohio State going forward? Obviously, you blow up you blow up the red shirt idea completely, right? That's out the window. Dallin already proved as a true freshman he could be a dangerous weapon off the bench for the Buckeyes. He's pressed into action, you know, on Saturday at Purdue for a banged up backfield. But Dallin has a different level of vision and decisiveness. You know, I talked about this on today's Blitz. He has that vision, and then he knows his track. He knows where his aiming point is. And when he sees that crease open up, bang, he hits it. You know, there's no fucking around, or he's not beating the blocker to the track or getting there before the crease opens. He is timing it up perfect. That patience, not just vision and decisiveness, but patience, you know, just wait a beat, maybe 2, you know, and then bang, hit it full speed. That's some of those things that you see in NFL running backs. Zeke Elliott, obviously, master of that. So I think about the 85 yards through the heart of the South. I mean, perfect example. You know, he didn't go full speed, bang, and hit it. You know, he waited for the blocks to open up and then hit it and got upfield. But anyway, this throwback Monday. Hayden has a different level. The running back room could be closer to full strength this week. So where does I think he's earned the right to be in the rotation. What do the coaches think, though? You know, you got Travion. He has a nagging upper body injury, whatever that means. It could be an elbow, could be an ab muscle, could be a pec. I don't know. So that hasn't obviously improved enough for him to play. Now, I would say this week, all bets are off, all injuries, you know, Trey is going to play. But Chip Trainum might have a concussion. So he may, you know, if he doesn't pass the protocols by Friday, whatever their protocol is, then he might not even be dressing for the game. Mayan still could be unavailable with an undisclosed injury. We're not sure what that is. Again, but guys on the Buckeye beat, and you guys listening and in the chat, do me a favor and reach out to those other podcasts that you listen to, the beat writers like 24/7 Sports, the Bucknuts guys, Buckeye Huddle, whoever else is in those press conferences. Ask them to ask these freaking questions about guys' health. It seems like they forget to ask sometimes, or they just don't. So we got to lean on the Buckeye beat for some info, or to at least ask for the info. I know we're not always going to get detailed, you know, accounts of every injury, but something, you know, throw me a freaking bone. Why don't you? All right. So Hayden would be a crucial part of the game plan, in my opinion, if he's part of the rotation. Buckeyes intended only to use him for the 4 games this year to preserve the red shirt, but feels like that's a waste, and it's a need for him to play. It's a waste of his talents to sit, another year, and we need quality running backs that can play and have proven it. He has proven it. That's the thing, It's not like he's a true freshman that hasn't done anything. He's done it, So my last question is, again, more health related questions. How many guys can we get back this week? Passing attack moved along pretty well with, even though we had some 5 drops, pretty uncharacteristic of our wide receiver room, and without Emeka, one of the best receivers in the country, we still were able to throw the ball a bit. So the Buckeyes can deal with wide receiver injuries without much drop off because of the quality depth of the room, right? But think about the fourth quarter against Georgia. You need to have the best players available in the biggest moments. And this Penn State game obviously is one of the biggest moments. We don't want to afford, or we can't afford, a loss this week, because you don't know what's going to happen at Michigan at the end of the year. And we still got a handful of games in between now and then. So Emeka's injury, it's a knee, is very much in the spotlight this week. And then, of course, we talked about Trey and Chip. They're important, but Emeka's versatility in the throw game makes him one of the keys of the Buckeye passing attack. And they need to be able to stress the entire field against this big time Penn State defense. They're one of the best in the country too. We're right next to them. So they weren't going to rush Emeka back last week, of course, against Purdue. He didn't even travel, but wasn't enough time to get Emeka close to full strength for the Penn State game. Maybe not 100% full strength, but I think I'll take a 90% Emeka. I'll take that. Right. All right. So let's check on the chat, see what you guys are thinking. And hey, don't forget, we are taking calls, so pop in there. We had a lively show last night. Had a Penn State fan in there and everything. It was really great. I wish I had time to go through all those comments last night, but we were pushing 2 hours. Seems like our shows get longer and longer every week. But all right, let's check out the chat. PC is in there first. You know it. It's always a battle, head-to-head battle between PC and Billy. PC says first, go Bucks. PC, howdy Joe, how was the wedding? I didn't watch the Sunday live show yet. I don't think I really got into it much Sunday. Pretty boring affair. Tell me this. You guys have any photography experience? I have a little. I would not call myself a professional photographer. I don't own the equipment, but if you're at a beach wedding, does it make sense to shoot photos of people with the sun behind them? Isn't that sun just going to wash them out? I don't know. Anyway, no offense to the photographer. Anyways, wedding was pretty boring. My wife and I had dinner before we went to the reception because they weren't really doing any real food. They were doing some crappy tacos, make your own tacos. I don't even know where the food came from. So my wife's a really picky eater. She's a nutritional therapist. So she's not going to settle for some bullshit tacos. So we ate at a nice little Italian place down the street from the wedding. Then went to the wedding. I was hammered by then and just kind of sat there like a blob till it was time to go. That's about it. But I did get to see some of my wife's family and stuff that don't totally suck. So anyways, Billy says, Joe has burning questions after the wedding. Yeah. I did have one question. They almost tried to get me. My wife was like, did you notice the tall Asian looking girl? I was like, oh yeah, sure. She was the tallest person there. And my wife's like, she used to be a guy. I'm like, yeah, I could tell. She was the tallest person there. And she was Asian. Anyway, PC says, fire away with questions. PC, something is burning anyways. Oh, that's not a good sign. No. Jeremiah, hey there, Joe. After the Buckeyes finished off Purdue, the Buckeyes are getting ready to finish off those knits from PSU. Let's go Buckeyes. Yes, sir, Jeremiah. Jeremiah was in the chat last night. He witnessed that. A lot of back and forth with that Penn State fan. He said they played in a deluge in Iowa. That's why they didn't. Or who are they talking about? I don't know. He was talking about Iowa for some reason. Anyway, Billy says, I feel pretty good about Matthews if Burke can't go. Well, that's good, Billy, because I haven't seen Matthews play against a top-level wide receiver yet. Till then, I don't know. PC, I don't see the Burke injury, only watched the highlights. It wasn't in there yet. Well, you didn't see it if you even watched the game live, Billy, PC, because that was a work of trash on my television. That Peacock app, the Buckeyes better never, ever, ever play on that again, because that was straight up garbage. Mutilating dudes' names, not having instant replay half the time, no other angles and on some instant replays, just one angle only. It's like they had two cameras on the field, in the stadium. That's it. It's horrific. PC says Burke is tough. I'm pretty sure if they let him, he'll be out there this Saturday. Oh yeah. I think that's his call to make. Right. I need a little water here. Right. PC said, oh, Billy says, watch the game, but missed the play. Yeah, I watched the game too. I missed the play. What's I tell you? That coverage, man. PC, it's clear that Burke is better, but Matthews is all absolutely serviceable. I hope so. It'll be interesting to see if they have to juggle that lineup. Do they move Hancock to Burke's position and then slide Matthews down into the slot, or somebody else down into the slot? Maybe, I don't know. You got to keep Igmanosin, I think, at the outside, but we'll see. A lot of questions there. Billy says, not sure Penn State has any burners on the outside. That Lambert Smith, their leading receiver, I don't know how fast he is. I'd have to check the recruiting rankings and all that crap, but I'll dig into that more and see if he is actually a threat. But he's their leading receiver. Not that they throw the ball a ton. It's like a 45-55 split pass to run ratio. Back to the chat here. PC says Cody Simon has been a pleasant surprise. It's great to see. Not sure what's up with Chambers, but I still like Chambers. Maybe Simon is a better option. Jury is out for me on that one. Yeah. I was asking myself the same question over the last couple of weeks since the Notre Dame game, really, with Steele. What happened? You know, we were talking like we might have two All-American linebackers on this team. Now, I don't know. I can't say that. Tommy hasn't really lit it up either. He's making a lot of tackles, not getting a lot of TFLs though. But PC says, I really like the fact that Brown is seeing some action, keeps him engaged and ready if needed. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. He also is, going to run a little bit stronger than Kyle. He's got a little bit more poundage and lower body to him. Billy says Day called a QB run on 4th and 1. What a revelation. Yeah. What about the Kyle Curry McPush? How about that? Finally, it's in the arsenal. PC says, did McCord have a fumble too? Yeah, that was on a blitz. He got around, I believe, or maybe there's a DN, got around Fryer later in the game, and McCord didn't see him coming. Yeah, set up a short field for their only touchdown. Yep, right at the 20. They had a nice little 20-yard drive for a TD. PC says, screw red shirts. Who cares about those? If the guys are great, put them in. If they're great, they will not be here 5 years anyway. That's exactly the point. That's why I brought it up last night with Jeff and Sean, because I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing something. Like, it seems pretty obvious. If Dallin's getting it done, he has to be in the rotation, especially with all the other injuries. I have no idea what's going on with Mayan. He didn't travel this week. Chip could be out with that possible concussion. A lot of question marks. Hopefully we get some answers tomorrow at the Ryan Day press conference. Billy says, PC says, plus if they are there for 5 years, and maybe it's a sign he is an NFL quality. Right. But I think Dallin Hayden is, in this particular case, I think he is NFL quality, but regardless, I don't see him being anywhere for 5 years. Billy says, even if he only stays 4, he'll have 2 more after this year. Right. So my point is, let's say he's a starting running back, RB1 next year for the Buckeyes, has a great year, over 1,000 yards. You think he's going to stay for another year? I think he's gone. I don't think he stays 2 more years. If he has a good year next year as the starter. Anyway, just my opinion. PC says, if Chip doesn't play, I have no problem with playing Hayden. I like him. Billy says Day won't answer health questions till he absolutely has to. But you got to ask, in my opinion, you got to ask somebody. I mean, make him not answer it, PC says the problem with asking health questions is that Day shuts that shit down right away. He's evolved and doesn't say anything. He has said a little bit. He'll say a little bit, like the Emeka injury a couple weeks ago. He said it's not a long-term injury. So that cued me to think that it was a bruise or something minor, and they held him out just for precautionary measures. Let's see. PC says, yes, Joe, we need the best team on the field, best on the field this week. Penn State will be the second biggest game of the season after Team Up North. Yes. PC says, I think just like Burke, Igbuka will play if they let him. Yeah. Billy says, give a call, PC. PC says, I have no photography experience whatsoever. All right. Yeah. PC says, I think the sun should be in front, not behind. I agree. All right. I heard the Cock broadcast was trash on a few channels. Yes, very much so. Jeremiah says, I watched the back and forth with the PSU fan. Wasn't interested in getting into it with that or any PSU fan. Yeah. Billy, PSU only has 1 pass play more than 40 yards this season. Yeah, not surprised. They don't chuck it deep. PC, I think Penn State will be our 6th undefeated opponent, right? Ooh, that's a good question. Maybe. Badass Buckeye, what's up, Bab? Wait till we start blitzing them and they will fold like a cardboard box. Yeah. Can we get home with 4 is the question, without blitzing? Can somebody get through that NFL draft pick left tackle? We did okay against Joe Alt for Notre Dame a couple weeks ago, but can we do it again against Olu Fashanu or whatever the fuck his name is? That's the question. If you got a blitz, obviously Tommy's your guy. He's always up in that A gap, either simulating a blitz or actually blitzing. So just got to get home. Aller is a big freaking dude though, man. That guy is like 6'5", 230 or some shit. He's not a toothpick back there. Checking on the chat. We got some. Oh, Mike Green, how you doing? Mike Green says, how do you feel about Devin showcasing being the better thrower and opening the better run game with Devin Brown? I wouldn't say Devin's a better thrower. He almost threw a pick six there. Threw a worm burner, but then did have the nice deep ball to Ennis in man coverage. Ennis just went up and made a play. That was nice. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's a better passer whatsoever. PC says we got home against Purdue pretty good. I like that. Yeah. They also were without their starting right tackle, and then their right guard went out early in the game with an injury. It looked like a broken leg. They had to bust out the air cast and shit. PC, holy crap, I didn't know Aller was that big. Yeah, he's a big dude, man. He's beefy. So yeah, if you're a linebacker coming in there after him, you better wrap him up. Like, wrap it up, B. That's not going to be an easy takedown. Billy says PSU QB from Ohio, OSU QB from Pennsylvania. We did a little switcheroo there, a little tit for tit, right? Yeah, PC, I agree. Brown did great. I liked his fire too. That's what we need at times. Brown is good, but I still roll with McCord. Yeah, overall, you got to. Yeah, he does bring the juice, some electricity in the air. So yeah, even if the defense has to prepare for it, I think you gotta. I still use it. I would still use the Devin Brown package against Penn State because, okay, so they saw it on tape. Now, can you stop it? How do you defend that? Let's see you defend that, actually, when we're inside the 5, maybe. Jeremiah, right there, queued me up. He says, Jeremiah says, do you think the package with Devin Brown will be one of those plays installed for Penn State? I think you have to. I think you got to install that package. You could even use it on a 3rd and short. I got no problem with that. Make Penn State prove they can stop it. Let's see what their plan is. It's like a chess game, right? We have this new package of plays with Devin Brown. Okay. Now, how does Penn State counter that? What's their move? Now, then back to the Buckeyes. How do we counter their counter? It's just a back and forth, So say they walk up all their safeties to the line of scrimmage, nobody deep. Do you let Devin Brown audible into a pass, like a jump pass or something, something quick, a quick little pop pass right over the line of scrimmage, behind the defense where everybody's walked up, that could be your counter to their counter. PC, how about Ennis? That was a great see. Yep. First catch is a touchdown. One of many, I'm sure. Yeah, it was great to see the new guys play. Tate had a big day. Hardline asked Tate when he came over to the sideline, why'd you stop? Because he turtled up with the ball, with 2 hands on the ball when he's running down the middle of the field and slowed down, let the defenders get at him. He probably could have scored on that. Let's see what else. In general, it's great to see. Yep. If McCord, Billy says if McCord is in on red zone plays, they won't be expecting a run because Brown isn't in. So run McCord. Day is 3 steps ahead. That's fine too. Yeah. Yeah. The Kyle Curry mix shove. That's what I'm calling it. Kyle Curry mix shove. Imagine Caden Curry can get a couple of yards by shoving just about anybody from behind. PC, and then you really screw them up by putting in Brown. They're thinking QB run. Then he goes over the top, bam, yep, in your face with a can of mace. Ouch. That hurts. Mace is the worst. PC, because Brown can throw. Exactly. And a short little pop pass, or jump pass should be an easy completion. I mean, Tebow could do it, right? So what's that tell you? Mike Green says Aller made a bad business decision by picking Penn State over Ryan Day. Can you imagine him in our offense? Let's see him throw the ball consistently. I don't know how good Aller's accuracy is, stuff like that. I'm sure he's a smart kid and stuff, but yeah, I don't know how good Aller is yet. It's only his second year. Let's see him play against a tough team like us, see what he can do when he's under duress. PC says both Tate and Ennis turtled up. They must have that fear of God still having to protect the ball. Yeah. Well, when you're on the sidelines as a player and you see Devin Brown fumble in the end zone earlier in the game, and you get mother effed by Ryan Day when you come off the field, when Devin Brown comes off the field. Yeah, I would say, I'm going to go ahead and take care of the ball today, because I don't want to get mother effed by Ryan Day as a true freshman. So yeah, I think it was a little bit of what they just saw in the game. Jeremiah, if PSU can't stop the Devin Brown package, why not run it in short yardage? Yes, exactly. Run it in short yardage until they can stop it. That's what I'm saying. You can use it third and short, fourth and short, whatever. PC, bring in the knowledge. CS gas is worse than mace. Okay. If I ever run into that, I'm going to piss my pants. Billy says, I think McCord has gotten better every game, minus first half versus Maryland. Yeah. He was a slow start against Maryland, but I'm glad. I felt a lot better in the first half of the Purdue game by getting off to that, efficient start. He operated the offense efficiently and on time. Outside of the Devin Brown fumble, they should have scored 5 touchdown drives in a row to start the game. Yeah, how's that taste? PC, taser is worse than all that. All right. I will definitely pee my pants if I get tased. That's a non-starter for me. PC, yeah, Dave was pissed on that one. Dave was pissed all day. Dave was pissed at the day. He got in Tony Alford's ass, maybe even Justin Fry, Kyle McCord, Devin Brown. The list goes on. Josh Simmons, maybe even Josh Fryer, the special teams unit for taking 2 penalties in a row. I don't think anybody really escaped Ryan Day's wrath on Saturday. A lot of F words. PC, this week's practice has to be on point for sure. This is a big one, BIG capitals. Billy says he tore Simmons and Alford new ones. Yeah, that's not it. That's not the only 2. He went off. That dude's going to have an aneurysm right on the sidelines, man. He's got to relax that shit. I love the new emotional Ryan Day telling you what he thinks and kind of, being more animated and shit, but I don't know, fear for his health. Jeremiah says, one key to the Buckeyes offense, starting slow. Don't spot the opponent a 10-point lead. I agree. You can't do that against an equal team like a Penn State. We do have more talent. I pointed that out last night with the blue chip ratio. We're at 85% 4 and 5 stars on our roster. Penn State's 55%. Quite a talent gap over the last 4 years. So that's right, PC. It is Ohio against the world. So what was I saying? Yeah, the talent gap is there. Now, their defense, though, I think we might have talked about it last night. Jeff might have brought it up. They might not have the depth, but their starting front is legit. They're one of the best in the country. But if you ever get into that bench, that 2 deep, 3 deep at a position, that's where I don't think Penn State has the quality that we have. Now, you can say ours is inexperienced, but then so is theirs, blah, blah, blah. You can go back and forth all day, but yeah. So back to the chat here. PC, yeah, I got your PC. Mike says, I'm very concerned about our LB play. Steele is a huge liability. Yeah, I think I think Simon gets to start at will this week, at will linebacker. You got to have Tommy out there. He's the quarterback of the defense. He gets everybody lined up. He recognizes plays due to formation or play call or whatever. You got to have Eichenberg out there. It would be like benching McCord, So you got to have Eichenberg on the field every snap possible. And then I think Cody Simon starts in place of Steele Chambers. Judging by the last 2 games, Cody's been the worst defensive player on the team, according to the PFF grades. So I hate to do it, but shit. Billy, I'm built Ohio tough. Joe, thanks. You are, Billy. Proud of you. Get your shirt. It's a good one. PC. So now it's looking like PSU and Team Up North is the season. Whiskey doesn't scare me after the sloppy turd fight with Iowa. Yeah. Mordecai's out for the season. That offense is a train wreck anyways. I don't think they know what the hell they're doing. Fickle brought in this OC that's supposed to be air raid, and they don't have any air to raid. They're not even trying. PC got one too. Nice. Billy, yeah, Mordecai is out. PC says, I wouldn't call Chambers a liability, but he does seem to be playing distracted or something, kind of like Burke last year. Is it? Yeah, something like that. Distraction? I don't know, man. It's hard to say. You never know what's going on in these kids' lives. I just learned today that Mike Hall had a child a month ago. Just learned that from his Instagram account. So you never know what's going on in these kids' personal lives is my point. There might be something going on at home with Steele, back home in Georgia. Who knows? But it could be distraction. Something just isn't adding up here. Who knows? We may find out months from now that something's going on. Injury even, who knows? Jeremiah, built Ohio tough is the only way to be built. That's right. Jeremiah, go to the BuckeyeCast.com, get yourself a shirt, or predict the right score this week against Penn State and win yourself a shirt for free. Mike says, did you know that teams are 12 for 12 against Steele and Passcode? Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's why he's grading out the worst the last couple of weeks. They're scheming him up. Other opposing offensive coordinators are scheming up Steele, trying to get him in favorable matchups for them. So PC, yeah, some are married, some have kids. Yeah. Some aren't doing so well in class. Yeah. Could be anything. Could be a number of things. Could be all of those things, So I don't know. But I think for the team, hey, if you guys could please hit the like button, I'd really appreciate it. We're going to go to about 5:30. I don't think we had no calls coming in yet. We do have time for one call today in the next 10 minutes, but yeah. So Steele is definitely being schemed up. They're getting him lined up. I mean, think about how what's his name, Sark, when he was at Alabama in the 2020 national championship game, they schemed up Tough Borland, to end up covering Devontae Smith. Not a winning combo for the Buckeyes, for sure. So that's what's happening to Steele. All right, appreciate you, Mike Green. No problem, no problem. You and I are good. So, yeah, Steele's getting schemed up. What else you guys want to talk about? Anything good about this 4.5 point? The Buckeyes are favored by this point spread. I think this could be a slugfest, like a low scoring affair, 20-10 kind of game. I'm thinking taking the under. Oh, sure. 1 second, Mike. It should be in the description, but here. I will drop it in the chat. I think the 4.5 is a little steep for my blood. There we go. Appreciate you, Mike. PC says, I think it's going to resemble Notre Dame. Yeah, maybe. 21-14, possibly. PC says a smash mouth, knockdown, drag out street fight like Notre Dame. It's going to hurt. Yeah, it's going to be a battle. But I still think it's going to be a tight one, especially the first half. It could end up being like 6-0 at the half, 6-3. These two defenses are really good, and a couple of the best in the country. They're going to go back and forth, and these offenses might not be able to do shit. Billy says PSU is bragging about putting up 30 on Iowa. Iowa hasn't played an offense with a pulse except for PSU. It's a good point. PC says I'll take the Buckeyes and the points, but I don't have a score just yet. No problem. We've got a few scores already in from Sunday night. We got Stephen Cherry, of course, came in before we even started talking about Penn State. Gave his score. Stephen Cherry sees it as 40-24 Buckeyes. Billy, I got you down for 28-17. I will allow you to change that before Saturday if you think that's too aggressive. Josh had 20-17. That's kind of the area I'm thinking. Jabari, DJ Big Hoover. It's a cool name. 28-17 as well. Jeff and Sean. Let me see what they had here. Yeah, Sean has 35-24, so he's also expecting big points. Jeff 27-17. I went 34-17. I'm starting to not feel so good about that 34. I'm thinking maybe 24, 24-10 maybe. Yeah, over under 48 set out right now. PC says, would I be Price is writing if I put it 3-0? No, I don't think that's Price is writing. No. But I don't think you're going to actually choose that score, PC, of 3-0. The ball's on you, man. Yeah, it's going to be a slobber knocker. like Herb used to say, it's a sledgehammer game. Ryan Day likes to call them a matchup game because of the talent. It's kind of equated, I would say, going back to the blue chip ratio. It's not exactly that, but it is kind of that. Closest. And what about Notre Dame? We beat Notre Dame and they beat the crap out of USC. No problem, PC. Take your time. We got till Friday. Jeremiah, oh, he's coming in 27-14. That's a good one. I like that. Let me get you down. Let me write down that score for you, Jeremiah. Right. A lot of people with 17 for Penn State. Billy's got a 17 in there for them. Josh, Jabari, DJ Big Hoover has 17. Interesting. Mike says, I'm not a Kyle fan, and fans come after me for being critical of his lackluster play each week. We have to scheme him wide open players. All right. Yeah. Scheme is part of it for sure. But he does make some throws. You got to admit that, you know, he does make some throws. I would say we gotten super spoiled from CJ Stroud and being the ball placement specialist the last 2 years. Pinpoint accurate. Obviously, you're seeing that in the NFL to an even greater degree where the windows are much, much smaller. But yeah, Kyle just needs, I think he just needs more time to develop. And he has to do that live in games, you know. Yeah, USC still not playing defense, PC, I agree. No shock here, right? But I was impressed with Notre Dame's defense is really the focus I took away from that. 3 INTs. I think they put the book out on how to defend Caleb Williams. Just get dudes in his face and contain him when you're blitzing. So they were blitzing constantly, obviously, but they were containing him, keeping him in the pocket, not giving him open lanes to run through, right? So that's the key with defending Caleb Williams. And I think now teams are going to use that game plan going forward. I wouldn't be surprised if USC loses maybe 2 more games. I have no idea what's on their schedule, but I'm going to check that. Mike has the Buckeyes 31-21. All right, Mike, I got you down. Win yourself a free shirt. We go by total points for the winner. Johnny C was our winner this week. I emailed him. Billy, they haven't always been caught. Example X last Saturday in Purdue. Who hasn't always been caught? Oh, you're talking about dimes, throwing dimes to covered guys. Yeah. Way too many drops last week. We had 5. Fleming had 1. Xavier had 1. Very uncharacteristic. Marv with 3. Are you kidding? I think you could have pegged 4 on him if you want to give him that one in the end zone on the sideline where he bobbled it as he was coming down out of bounds. That would have been a 4th drop, in my opinion. Mike says, I agree. He has it, but he lacks confidence. Yeah, he is unsure of himself and gets happy feet at times. I agree with that. PC says, yeah, it's tough. We are using Stroud as a yardstick. It's not fair. That's what I heard. Notre Dame defense really kicked Williams' ass. They did. Yeah, they were in it. He threw 3 picks in the first half, and it was pretty much over at that point. They set him up. They set up Notre Dame's offense with really short drives and for touchdowns. And of course, like we said, SC isn't going to stop a nosebleed, you know. Billy says Stroud is the most accurate college QB I've ever watched. I agree. He's up there. PC says maybe the drops were because of the weather, I guess, but then change your gloves or take your gloves off, whatever. Jeremiah says, I go back to South Bend, the Buckeyes final drive, Kyle McCord threw some dimes on that drive. Yeah. Yeah, that third and long to a Mecca to set up the goal line, plays. That was practice, timing, doing that, a massive number of reps, with a Mecca, to be assured that he was going to turn at that moment. Ball's already in the air. It's going to hit him in the chest. That was a ball. That was a great throw. Mike says it's our great wide receivers coverage catches. Okay. PC, the one in the end zone was kind of crap. I thought that one was okay. I should have given it to him. Yeah, PC, that 3rd and 19, still can't believe that. That was a great play. Yeah, the 3rd and 33 versus Maryland was a great throw and catch. Legit. So you can see we're starting to put together a little portfolio here of Kyle's throws and catches. Yes, there's 2 guys involved in the play, so you got to give the wide receivers props. It helps then that you have an alien on the other end of that throw. So, but Kyle's putting together a bit of a resume here, of some big plays, important plays, and some routine plays. Also, you got to remember those, not just the highlights. So, yeah. But anyways, 5:30. I got to bounce. I got to get ready for dinner. I am starving. Maybe pour a shot first. I don't know. Who's to say? I'm feeling crazy on a Monday. But anyways, thank you guys for popping in chat. That's right, PC, Marvin the Martian. Appreciate you, PC, Mike Green, Billy, Jeremiah, of course. Appreciate all you guys popping in, and we'll talk to you later. Did I miss anybody? No, it's like romper room. I see PC, I see Billy, I see Mike. No, but yeah, thanks guys. Appreciate you hitting me with all the questions and the input. And we'll see you Wednesday, 4:30, same bat time, same bat channel, and Friday as well. So, Mike, shout out Toledo, Ohio, from Palm Coast. I'm over in St. Pete Beach, Mike, over here on the West Coast. But talk to you guys later. Go Bucks.